This, what you are going to see now, is an introduction to a very interesting table which Professor Rips found when he was looking in the Torah for the expression Cheker Code, the research of codes. Amazingly, when he was looking on the skip before and after, he saw an old sentence saying, Mi shechaker kodin, he who researches codes, zacha, has great merit. Now we see this table, amazingly, once in the Torah, and we see some other important verse. But before, let us see what really the rabbis and the scientists say about the codes, how important they are. So let us first see a letter which was done really by Rabbi Shlomo Fisher. It means the letter that you are going to see is the answer to a question that Rabbi Shlomo Fisher was asked, one of the great geniuses in Israel, you know, and the question was asked whether it is the right thing to do codes. So as you will see in the letter, that he said definitely it is very important, it is a proof that Torah is from heaven. We see just now what he says, we have the English translation. We see first really the Hebrew, and we have really the original letter on which Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach Zatzal also signed. He agreed with the verse of Rabbi Shlomo Fisher, and clearly shows that the codes are very, very important proof that Torah is from heaven. And as we see also, scientists say that if the phenomena of the codes is right, then this is the greatest discovery in science in the last 300 years. So let us see now those letters, those words of the scientists, and then we see the table about this one who had research in the codes. So this is what we are going to see now. This is in Hebrew, the letter. This is Shelah, a question to the Gaon, to the genius of Shlomo Fisher Shita. האם מותר להראות אמיתות התורה או לנסות להוכיח אמיתותה? Whether it is permitted to show the truth of the Torah or to try to prove its truth in different ways, like על ידי הופעת מילים בדילגותיות, like codes. Now, here is in Hebrew, but let us see in English the translation which was done for this, and let us see now what he said, very important. So here you have the question. Here you have the question. Yeah, this is the question. It is allowed to show the truth of the Torah by a proof to truth in different ways, like the works which appear in the Torah in equal interval skip distances, which is really the Torah code. So answer, I was surprised and wondered about such a foolish question. It does not require thought. It is simple. It is a great mitzvah to do it in every generation. The sages of Israel, who were the experts to answer this, as yes, use ways appropriate to their generation to prove the truth of Torah. Look at the Tractate Chulin, page 60b. The sages asked, was Moses a hunter? Or did he know all the animals in the world? To be able to say that the only ones which chew their cud and do have split hoofs, or which don't chew the cud and do have split hoofs, are the ones mentioned in the Torah. The sages answer from there that Torah is from heaven, for only God knows the characteristic of all the animals, since the facts show that this kind of proof has a great impact to strengthen the faith that Torah is from heaven. It is a great mitzvah for those who occupy themselves in these manners. Now we'll see here the list of great scientists. You can see what the well-regarded scientists said about the Torah codes. Professor Robert Human, famous mathematician, Nobel Prize awardee, and member of the National Academy of Science of America, says, if there research of the Torah codes comes to light, behold, this is 100 years of scientific research. Then Professor Percy Diakonissis, famous professor of statistics and member of the National Academy of Science of America, we agree that this research, if borne out, is of broad scientific interest and has important implication for our way of thinking about our physical world. It is not only a matter of biblical studies. Professor Asmon, a great revelation that clouds even Copernicus' revelation. If there is a substance in this research, then the thinking will experience strong tremors. Then, this is the end of the letters of Gaon Shlomo Fisher, which says, all those who occupy themselves in these matters will be blessed by God in all blessings which are for those who help others to be more meritorious and bring back those who are far away. Their hands should be strengthened. Heaven forbid they should not be discouraged by any pious and righteous arguments, because those who are arguing out of piety don't speak with sense. It is better that they should keep quiet. Blessed will be those who establish words of Torah. Now this is said important, Rabbi Shlomo Fisher. This answer was shown to the Gaon Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach by Professor Hanover. Rabbi Auerbach said would we say the same words. It means that he will agree with this. Now very important words. Now let us see the amazing table which Professor Rips found, which speaks about the great reward, the great merit of those who are really doing this. So let us see now what is this. Now here you have the facts. Now what is the fact? In the beginning, Professor Rips looked for Cheker Kodim. You see the research of codes, you want to know where it appears in the Torah. Right, it appears only once. Then suddenly, when he followed the letters in the same skip, he found out amazing. Mi shechakar kodim, those who research the codes, zacha, they merit. Now, what we found here also interesting is that the word Kabbalah comes here, because we know codes are part of Kabbalah. As we know, the Zohar brings we know quite well that the great Kabbalist, Cordovero, Zahari, and Abu Lafi all brings it. So codes, by the way, it is interesting that you have the Hebrew word for code, tzofen. Tzofen names, and those are codes. Also interesting, you have the word ephod here, because very likely that the idea of the codes is similar to the ephod, which gave answers through the letters, the same thing what you have in codes. But you see here also something interesting, that you have the year, Tafshin Lamed Vav, which is 736, which is equal to 1976, when the idea of the codes in the Torah came to Professor Haralik and Doron Bissung, and then they worked on this with the computer, and they brought it out to the whole world. Then what you have also, or Asod, this is the light of secret, we know the secrets of the Torah are in the codes, and what you have here also is interesting. You have Sachar, maybe the merit of this will be reward, Mishamayim, from heaven. No, we hope that those who are really helping towards this. Now what you have here is the year that it started, and here parallel you have this year now, which is now in the next year, it is 775. Also, as we saw in other tables, very significant time. So again, amazing table, which tells us about the great merit of those who have doing research on the codes, and spread it out. And because this is Dvar Hashem, because it's the verse of Hashem, and we know that it's written Ani Hashem, God said, I am God. We know that this expression, I am God, always comes to emphasize that God will give reward to those who deserve it. So, interesting table, and no doubt that somebody who really watches properly will really realize the importance to help to promote the to promote the table and to promote the idea of the Torah codes, because I'm sure that everybody wants to have great merit. And no doubt, as the great scientist says, that if this phenomena is right, and we feel it is right, because there are some tables which is 1 to 100 millions and so on, about the Twin Towers and many other things. So no doubt that we have really in front of us a phenomena, one of before Mashiach time in his written, that we'll find out these great things, secrets in the Torah. And as we mentioned in other places, that the Kunei Zohar, in other places also in Kabbalah, that the discovery of the codes is part of the Torah Mashiach. This is part of the Torah of Mashiach. The Messiah will show us that all history, past, present, and future, is in the Torah, as the Vilna Gaon says. So really, you have a very important table here, which is worthwhile to go over it, and we hope that the response will be positive response, that people really support. We are going to make now a documentary, already a lot of material, but unfortunately money we don't have yet, because maybe people don't realize the importance of it. But anybody who can help, sponsor it, or invest in it, definitely will do a great mitzvah, as the great Rabbi said. And a reward for a mitzvah is very, very great reward. So let us take it to our attention and hope really that Messiah will come, Mashiach will come back soon in our time.